Hey folks, I'm Mike. Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/Inkdependence. It keeps this blog ad-free. Hello and welcome to an Inkdependence.com brief video review and water drop test. Today we have for you an Aurora ink. I know it's been a little while since I've been back with an ink review, but this is the new Aurora Blue Black, at least the new a couple of weeks ago. This is very recent. Comes in the standard box. Get rid of that. This is the bottle that it comes in. It's a very nice little bottle, 45 mils, so that's like an ounce and a half is what that is. You can see through this a little bit in my lighting because I have actually given away a whole bunch of these samples and such at our local pen club meeting. I thought that was a pretty good idea. Inside, you can see this is a really deep blue-black ink. Now, Aurora is pretty famous for only having 2 inks, well, now 3, and this one is a mix of the other 2, appropriately enough. They have the Aurora Black, which is one of the finest black inks that there is. It is one of those inks that will flow in any pen, any situation. If you think your nib is a little jacked up, man, get some Aurora Black, see if it works in there, because if it does, you're fine, right? Blue, on the other hand, is kind of a purpley blue, and it's kind of on the dry side for me. I'm not a super fan of it. The black, though, is great. And so this one, I think they've probably mixed these two things together. Where did I put that little cap? Ah, there it is. The only thing that's annoying about this ink is that it comes with one of these in the top. This goes in there, right? Which is cool because it means it's not going to explode in packaging or anything like that, but it's not cool because getting this out of there, when it's like snug against there, I got ink all over my hands. There's some over here. I think this is maybe blue-black. Anyway, it was a bit of a mess. So when opening this, be a little careful of that. But do rest assured this is not going to leak in transit, that's for sure. Also, it's a really pretty bottle. You can see like the curve there. That's really nice. Yeah, I like this bottle. So anyway, there's that. Also, I have this bottle, which is brand spanking new in the packaging. I'll take it out of the box to show you. This is the way it comes. It's also shrink wrapped in plastic. So, shrink wrapped in plastic, little cap in there, lots and lots and lots of protection. I will be giving this bottle away via my blog, so if you're watching this video near the time it comes out, follow the link in the description and you will find the giveaway for this ink. That is courtesy of Kenro. Thank you very much to Kenro for sending this out. They also gave me this bottle for review. Yeah, it was given to me through a couple of other hands, but from Kenro. Anyway, and I have used quite a bit of it. I had it in 3 different pens, so I'll talk about that here in a sec. So, where did I put the review? Here it is. Good. All right. So, there it is. You can find lots more pictures of this, static pictures and that sort of thing on the blog. But as you'll see, this is a very nice blue-black ink. It might be my favorite color of blue-black. Because it's not green, it doesn't lean purple or any weird thing like that, even though the blue that this is made of is kind of purpley, and the black is super dark. You get like a little bit of sheen in there. In fact, you can see some sheen. Let's see if you can see it on this paper. I don't know, maybe not a little bit down here. You get kind of a reddish purpley sheen. It's pretty nice. I enjoy this ink quite a lot in terms of the color. The only thing that like rubs me a little bit wrong is that this is a little bit dry, and that should be expected because the blue ink from Aurora is a little bit dry, and so if you mix a dry ink with a wetter ink, it's going to be somewhere in between, I'm guessing, and this came out a little bit too dry for me. I would have loved it if it had been just a tad wetter, but that aside, great stuff. Here it is in all 3 of those pens. If you watched my Aurora 88 Flex Nib review, then you saw some of this ink in action, and you saw that in the Flex Nib. You also saw that I switched to Aurora Black because I think it's got way better flow, and so it performed better in the Flex Nib. As I said, any nib that thing will work in. So anyway, there you go. But this looks very nice. In fact, in wetter nibs like the Pelican nib, it's very, very dark. I get a little closer to the camera there. It's super dark, much darker than it is here in the let's see, which one is this? Oh, this is the Sailor Hard Broad. Anyway, very dark, almost a black there, and if you look at it in comparisons, you'll see it's definitely got blue notes in there. It's not as, it's like Choo Choo is kind of a purple gray, which is a very cool color. I'm liking it more and more. But Sailor Blue Black, much darker than Aurora Blue Black. RNK Salix, entirely different animal. So this is kind of a singular ink, and I really like it a lot. I already showed the Flex Nib that I had it in, or Flex Pen that I had it in another video. Go check that out. but I don't have it anymore. I had to send that pen back. It is, however, in this pen, which is a Pelikan 800. This has got a fine nib, but a fine nib on a Pelikan is actually a very broad nib, it turns out. So, that's it. Well, broad for a fine anyway. And wet. The issue with this one is, as I say here, you get a lot more ink on the page, but it does feel like I'm writing with a pencil a little bit, so you get like that kind of feedback. So I would say this is not a particularly lubricated ink. I don't usually use the term lubricated, and you won't find it up here, because usually lubricated inks refer to inks that will help grease a piston a little bit and make that work more smoothly. I haven't noticed that it does anything to the piston in this pen. It seems fine, but it does feel like it could use a little bit of lubrication on the nib, so that's that. In this other pen, set that over there. This is the Anderson Pens edition of the Sailor 1911 standard pen. It's this beautiful dusky blue. I really like this color. It's one of my favorite ones. And this has a hard broad nib. The hard broad, you'll see here on the paper, is not really any bigger than the Pelikan Fine. Look at that. A little crazy, right? But the dryness of this makes it look more like a medium. It's usually a little bit broader than this, just it's a bit of a dry ink, as I said, and so not as much gets on the page, especially not from a very sort of middle-of-the-road broad like that Sailor. Middle of the road in terms of flow, anyway. So if I can get this to show some sheen. Yeah, there you go, a little bit of sheen there. You can't have this without showing sheen. All right, let's look at this on a couple of other papers before we do our water drop test. This is the Currently Inked journal from Pen Habit. His journals look way different now, and they're going to be changing soon, but this is the wheat straw paper. It's very good stuff, and you can see here, this is from that, I don't know why I wrote 805. It's definitely an 800. Let's just go ahead and fix that right quick. 800. 805 and 800 are the same pen, except that the 805 has silver hardware instead of gold. So where this one has gold and such, the 805 just has silver. Anyway, I don't know why I would put that. I don't even have an 805. So it's much darker here than it is here in the flex nib, or over here in that hard broad. Yeah, there you go. Another couple of inks that are coming up soon. I've got Sweet Maroon all over this page. That's also coming soon. If you haven't checked that out, Franklin Christoph, check that out. But we're doing this one here. All right. Oh, and Oyster Fire and Ice. Finally got some of that. Anyway, coming soon. Let's see. Here it is in an ink journal. This is the one you can get from inkjournal.com, I believe, and also I think they sell them at Gold Spot and several other places. This is a really nice little ink log, and also it's on Tomoe River. Here it is, that ink. Let's go ahead and turn it this way. It's too long to get close to the camera. And there you go. You see a lot of black notes. You see a little bit of the purpley red sheen there in the swatch. But otherwise, it looks pretty black, actually. And let's see. Previous page is where I have... there it is. I didn't actually write on here with the flex nib, I don't think. What was this one? Yeah, that was the Pelikan. Anyway, I don't have the flex nib in here for some reason. Probably because I never really inked it up. It came inked, so. All right, anyway, this is with that Anderson Pens Sailor 1911. You can definitely see more blue in this one. So this ink can have a lot of different characters depending on your nib. So this might be one that you want to get a sample of. If you're not entirely sure you're going to be happy with the drier ink, definitely get a sample because it's totally worth it. And then here it is on like regular old copy paper. This is 20-pound Staples copy paper, just the run-of-the-mill stuff you'll find in an office. I don't have any problems here. Let's get nice and close. I have no problems here with any kind of like feathering or spreading or any of that at all. All the lines look perfect. I don't see any errors at all. So well done there. On the back, you get a couple little spots here and there, but that's not the sort of thing I would ever worry about. So there you go, check that out. I mean, a little bit here from that 800, it's a very wet nib. This is the Aurora Flex here in the middle. A couple little spots of the Sailor. It's all pretty much the same. So well done, Aurora, on that front for sure. No problems on copy paper at all. Looks nice on other papers. Well done. Also looks nice on this Rhodia pad. However, I will say this, that on this this copy paper, the ink feels better than it does on the Rhodia, because the Rhodia is smoother, and this has got a little bit more like roughness to it, and so the nib actually feels better on this paper with this ink than it does on fancy paper. So if you're a person that writes on a lot of like thoroughly average copy paper type stuff, this ink is going to be a lot better for you. And also, since it's a little bit drier, it's not going to bleed through, so all good things. All good things. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in a skosh for this water test here. And then we'll take a look at, after the water test, we'll take a look at some other stuff. I've got a bunch of ink comparisons I can show you. I've got chromatography, you know, the standard stuff. All right, here's my syringe. Let's go, here we go. Get that on there. Boom. A little on the words, because why not? Drew a starfish. That's adorable. All right, just sort of let that work its way into the ink and paper and such. Find myself a nice clear spot on this paper towel, and you actually see a lot of interesting stuff going on here. I really like that. All right, let's go ahead and mop that up. Yeah, really interesting. Oops, got a little tinge of red there. That was not in the ink, that was on the paper towel. I should have gotten a freshening. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Interesting. All right, so this little spot of blue, I believe, also came off the paper towel. So let's not pay attention to what color this is. I'll show you in the chromatography what's in there. Now let's just pay attention to whether it stood up to water or not. And the answer is not bad, actually. Were I to wipe it a little bit harder, you probably get some of this excess ink nonsense out of here, and you'd still have lines, you still have the W, all that's perfectly legible. So, while not waterproof, I'll give it water resistant. That seems legit. It's definitely got some like lighter blue, like turns kind of light blue or gray, but it's not bad. Not bad at all. Cool. Good job on that, Aurora. Also, since we're zoomed in, here's the color comparisons a little bit better. Yeah, it looks good. So anyway, like I said, this is not the same as any of the other blue blacks I've got inked up. And Sailor Blue Black is probably the one I use the most. Salix next. Chushu is new to me, but it's not really a blue black. It's kind of a, I don't know, purpley, bluey gray. Anyway, but this one, definitely a blue black. Certainly a super dark blue with some black in there. Good stuff. All right, so let's use our still zoomed in look for chromatography. All right, so you should be watching right now the chromatography happen. This is not my normal cup. That one needed to be cleaned out, so I used a shot glass. Go Bowling Green. This is the chromatography you have after that, and all sorts of interesting colors in here. You got a lot of like green at the bottom, kind of like a grayish green, and that sort of flares up here into light blues and dark blues. Really cool chromatography. This is a complicated little ink. I imagine this is actually most of the base of the Aurora Black. And then you have the blue on top of it, and the blue is not as water resistant. So very cool. Very cool chromatography. Here, let's do some color comparisons. So this is done on one of Well-Appointed Desk's new coloring books. I love this coloring ink testing book. So good. These are really nice pieces of paper. I don't know exactly what she's using here. It's 100-pound sheets. Anyway, it's a little bit different from the, oops, sorry for the boom, from the Moramon stuff that I was using before, but this is the, well, I'm knocking everything over back here. This is the coloring book sheet, and you can definitely see that like purpley reddish sheen flashing in there on the lights, so very good. Here it is next to a couple of Ackerman inks. There we go. And as you can see, it's it's a little bit, I guess, it's kind of close to this this one right here, Deepwater Blue. I think it's Deepwater anyway, but I don't know how to say it. Ackerman number 8. It's kind of close, but this has got a little bit of green in it, and this does not. So the comparison falls there. And then Cobalt Blue is just much more blue. It's not really a blue-black, but it's pretty darn dark. So I threw it in there as well. Get rid of those. We've also got here Faber-Castell's Midnight Blue. Midnight Blue is kind of close, but nowhere near as interesting. I really like Faber-Castell's Midnight Blue. This has got good water resistance. It's a cool color, but not as interesting. Lacks the sheen, lacks the depth. It's got a little bit of sheen, as you can see, but it just doesn't come close to the Aurora Blue Black, I don't think. Let's see, Robert Oster's Blue Black, which is actually very purple. I haven't really used this ink. I've only got the swatch of it. I've got a sample of it, but I haven't really used it yet. So this is Robert Oster's Blue Black, very purpley blue black as opposed to the blue. Let's get another blue black that's kind of an off blue black, and that's this one. This is Noodler's Aircore Blue Black, which is a very cool blue black, except it's not blue black. It's like a green black or a black green or something. It's definitely not a blue black, especially when you set it next to a blue black. Not even close, right? All right, get out of here. This is Montblanc's JFK, which I like quite a bit. It's a little bit dry, I think, but very nice ink, just not nearly as dark or as rich as Aurora Blue Black. There's 54th Mass from Noodlers. This is actually a well-loved and good ink, I think. It's a little bit of high maintenance is what I hear about it. I've used it quite a bit and haven't had any problems though, so I would say use it with confidence. But definitely more of like a teal or something in there as a base instead of the blue. This is Salix, Roaring Cleaner's Salix. It goes down a different color because it is an iron gall ink. Nonetheless, this is one I use very regularly. And even it comes off looking a little bit purpley blue next to this blue black. And then lastly, Pilot's Blue Black, which is definitely a lot lighter. It's not even close. So yeah, Aurora Blue Black, kind of the best blue black color. I wish it performed a little bit better. That's as far as like on the nib feel, that's my only complaint about it. Everything else is great. The color's great, the performance is great. Just the feel isn't great. So anyway, there you go. All right. So that is all I will say about Aurora's Blue Black. This is their new thing. Go check that out. I hope they bring out more colors in the near future. I don't know if they will or not. They're kind of famous for only doing like a very limited set of colors. Anyway, so there you go. So this is I'm Mike. This has been Inkdependence. Check out this Aurora Blue Black. You can get it anywhere they sell Aurora stuff. My favorite place to buy Aurora stuff is always Anderson Pens, and you can find it there for $18 in the 45ml bottle or $1.50 for a 3ml sample. So at least get yourself a sample of this. I would say it is the new hotness in terms of blue black, but I would say a bottle is not a bad idea. $18 is not bad for an ink this good as far as like performance and all that sort of thing. So go find some of that. Thank you to Kenro for sponsoring this via ink and also for the sponsoring the giveaways. So if you're viewing this near to the time it was uploaded within a week-ish, I would say go to the blog immediately. Go and enter to win this on the blog at inkdependence.com. Otherwise, well, this is probably gone already. Don't enter because it'll be too late. All right, that's it. So check out these nice little things over here on the side. You can sign up to join my Patreon. You can subscribe to the channel, which helps it get in front of more people. You can like this video because people will come and see it if you like it. It'll show up in people's feeds more often, and that'll be awesome for all of us because more people will see stuff and get like access to things. So that's that. All right. So there you go. Check out those videos. Peace out.